The 1996 murder of 19-year-old Stacy Lee Stites shook the small central Texas towns of Giddings and Bastrop, where she lived and worked. Shocked friends, co-workers, and family members waited almost an entire year before a suspect was finally charged with her murder.
When I actually met her, it was like late October, early November of '95. I met her at it was like a Diamond Shamrock, a little pool hall. And I met her right there at the jukebox. You know, she was putting in quarters and I was looking over, and just small talk led into the little relationship.
This morning, 19-year-old Stacy Lee Stites was reported missing. She left her home in Giddings around 3:30 a.m. and never arrived at work.
There's a lot of rumors flying around Bastrop, but nothing has been confirmed yet. No hard facts.
Now, what I can tell you, we'll start at the beginning. Stacy Stites was supposed to be at work at HEB here in Bastrop at about 4 o'clock this morning.
Later in the afternoon, her body was found near a road. She had been strangled.
Reed's subsequent conviction and sentence of death should have helped the communities begin to recover from the tragic loss. Instead, almost 10 years after her murder, controversy continues to haunt the case, and the truth remains a mystery for many of those who were involved.
It took the jury 5.5 hours to reach a decision. The verdict still leaves some with questions, while others feel justice is served.
Stacy was murdered on April 23rd of 1996. According to her boyfriend, they went to bed that evening about 10 p.m. She normally got up and went to work somewhere around 3 a.m. At the HEB store in Bastrop. She did not arrive as she was scheduled to do. So this would be her usual route, going to work every morning. It's out in this area that Stacy's bodies were recovered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Basically like right about up in here.
I think I just got home from work and my friend Libby called and asked if I had seen the news. And I told her no, that I just walked in through the door. And she told me, to sit down, that, she had something to tell me and that, it was serious. And so I went up to my room and I sat down, and she told me that they had found Stacy's body and that she had been murdered. I don't think that, it really hit me until that Stacy was gone until her actual funeral. When we sat down and I finally decided that I was going to go up there and see her, and that's when it really hit me that, she was gone. And then I saw her in her wedding dress, and that was kind of really disturbing to me.
What went through my mind when I found out was that I really couldn't believe. I really couldn't believe that it had happened until I actually saw it on the news.
According to the autopsy and crime lab report, the DNA found on the victim was a small amount of Reed's sperm. They
ran DNA tests on just a multitude of individuals that were involved in this case. And based on that DNA report, because DNA was found at the scene of the victim, Rodney Reed became a prime suspect in the case and eventually became the only suspect.
From death row, Rodney Reed continues to claim that a consensual sexual encounter with Stacy Stites the night before she was murdered is the only reason for the finding of his semen on the victim.
The last night that I was with Stacy, it was late night Sunday, early morning Monday, 21st and 22nd of April. She came by and she picked me up. I was at the center by my mom's house, the little activity center by my mom's house. Picked me up, we went out and hung out up at the state park, messed around, had sex. She dropped me off and went on her way to work. That was the last time I saw her. She took me down, came down off 71 and went downhill and went down Linden. We was going down Linden, and right there on Linden and Main, she made a left on Main. She dropped me off right there on the corner. That was the last time I saw her.
During the alleged affair with Reed, Stites became engaged to a Giddings, Texas police officer named Jimmy Fennell around New Year's 1996, and they soon began living together and planning their wedding.
I know that whenever she had told me that, you know, she had started dating Jimmy, and you know, that she was happy because she thought that she actually found somebody that she could spend the rest of her life with, and that things, you know, you have to work to make things work in the relationship. And at first it seemed like everything was coming together, and then there were a few times, I guess, after she had moved to Giddings, I talked to her maybe once a week, then it went to like once every 2 weeks, and then it kind of got, you know, far-fetched. And I know multiple times that she was supposed to come down, or, you know, she wanted to go out, and he didn't want that. You know, she was supposed to be at home, you know, cooking supper, doing, you know, already kind of like the wife thing, that she shouldn't, why would she want to go out anymore? You know, so I think when their relationship started, we got more distant. Multiple times he would walk in and hang up the phone before even saying anything. I know one time, I don't know if it was during Jamboree, it was kind of like a big fair that they had. She wanted to come down to it, and he was like, there's no way in hell. The next day, tires are slashed in her truck.
Let me just say this, and I mean, you know, again, this is my personal opinion, but my personal opinion when I heard that she had been killed was that Fennell had done it immediately. And I know a number of people around here that felt the same way, because they'd either observed enough about his personality and that sort of thing. And when we heard that she had been having an affair with a black guy, it was like, well, that's why he did it, you know, because his ego wouldn't let him. I mean, that would be a tremendous affront to his ego, you know. His bride-to-be, you know, messing around with a black guy, you know. He couldn't handle it.
Reed claims that he and Stites began a secret sexual affair in November of 1995, almost 5 months before her death.
She told me about her and Fennell, and as far as him, he was angry because he did know. He knew, and she told me that if he actually found out, her words to me was that he would kill her, you know, and I didn't take it as serious, you know how some people say, oh, I'll kill you, you know, you're just playing around or something like that, you know. I didn't take that he would literally, you know what I mean?